Hey, I'm so grateful for the last few days. So grateful for right now. I'm here now. I'm here now. And that's the only place I ever need to be. Last week we had our first community meditation group. It was a small but wonderful group of all neighbors from the area, and we had a great time. People really had a great experience, I think, for our first time. But it really inspired me. It really inspired me and kind of called me higher. I felt in my heart like, all right, if I want to really facilitate a great group here, if I want to be of the greatest service I can be to these people, my new friends, I need to really be in my heart. I need to really consistently be getting beyond myself. If I want to help them, I need to be, you can't lead from behind. And so I took a deep dive this weekend. Jumped back on Facebook for the first time today after 3-4 days not on it, not looking at it, and honestly not really missing it. And just, I have a lot of free time right now, still not working, and so I meditated multiple hours, like an hour, multiple times a day, over the last few days, and I also approached that time differently in the sense that what has kept me from doing that in the past is pain. Is pain with sitting that long or pain afterwards. A lot of times, if you meditate, you know that if you sit long enough, you get beyond the pain. But afterwards, sometimes I would really feel it, and the fear of that would stop me. I also, when I started this little few days thing, was I got off I was taking some aspirin and like maybe one ibuprofen a day, just because things had gotten so painful. And I decided, nope, I want to be authentic in the moment. I need to be here now with what is, not with what's masked, but what is. So I didn't take anything, that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, yesterday, today. And I also decided that instead of kind of wanting to will myself through the pain, that my approach, my attitude with it would be that I would welcome it. That I would welcome it as a reminder that I'm not beyond my body. As like a motivation, like I want to get beyond my body. I want to learn to really get beyond my body as a practice. Not just have some stillness and have my mind be quiet and feel like I'm in my heart, and which is great, and have different awareness and downloads sort of come in. But to really, I wanted to have that experience. And so that was such a softer, more loving attitude around my pain. Because, I realized too that the pain really has gotten worse because I've resisted it. That's my belief. That may not be yours. I believe that while there is some physical, absolutely, a physical autoimmune response going and physical like joint, deterioration or whatever, I believe that's happening. I don't doubt that. But the underlying cause for dis-ease or, tissue decline or, I believe there's always an energetic. It's always energetic because it has to be. We are energetic. Everything in us, all joints, muscles, tissues it's all energetic. And a lowering of frequency is what leads to illness. Even gene upregulation and downregulation of gene expression. So even down to like the DNA can be, and usually is, related to frequency. And it can all be changed. Not that it all will be changed, or not that that's all even sort of the grand purpose of a soul's journey to heal, but that it is possible. And I'm open to healing or not healing at this point. And so I had a different attitude with the pain, and I just started sitting an hour in the morning, an hour at night. I think this Friday I sat for 3 different hours, slots, and then Saturday 2 hour, an hour in the morning, an hour at night. And I was having, Rick, awesome experiences and really feeling connected to possibility and getting just inspiration and ideas, which is what happens when you sit long enough. I mean, because that's what's there in that space that the awareness lives in underneath the mind. There's all sorts of stuff there. And the universe is there. And it was wonderful. And Saturday was like it was like living in a washing machine here in Plymouth. It was a massive northeaster, and the wind was blowing sideways, and the wind was blowing the rain sideways. It was crazy. It started to ease up a little bit, and I sat down later at night to sit with my Hemisync music on, a little bit of music tones, above the Hemisync tones, and that really does help give your mind something to focus on that also alters it just a little bit. And I had that experience of getting beyond my body, and I want to share about that. There's a reason I want to share about that. I mean, this happens to people all the time. It's happened to me before. Not quite to this degree, or not quite this profoundly, but so in meditation often, we're sitting and we're resting in stillness, and we're focused on our breath, and maybe we have a little mantra going. And if we've sat long enough, our body's heavy and asleep, and it's just us, and our mind is slowed down, and maybe things are coming in, and we're aware of different things. We sort of run in different timelines or possibilities, which is what, not necessarily from our mind, like that spring from our heart or our subconscious. And then we find ourselves back, like in stillness and breath. And what is often taught in meditation, traditional meditation, is you have your mantra and you're sort of reaching outward a little bit with your consciousness, that you have your awareness. For most people, it's like right here. It's like in the darkness behind your eyes. Some people, it's like down in the heart. But you're sort of like gently just saying your mantra and looking to sort of expand outward, to connect. And I was at that place. It was like almost an hour into meditation, and I had the thought, just came flying in out of nowhere, like, what if you're already here? And I realized, for me, as someone that's always can be very works oriented instead of being, I'm reaching. That also comes from just subconscious programming, like dualistic thinking, religion, that the divine is out there. As much as I talk about it's in me, and as much as I feel it in me, I think there's still part of me that needed this lesson. And so it was like, what if it's right here? So I stopped reaching, and the mantra went from Soham, which means I am that in Sanskrit, to I am here. I am here. And that idea is a challenge to our own sense of divinity and our own sense of worthiness. Can I just be here right now? Wherever I am, can I just be here? Can this place be the mystical? But it felt like a warm embrace. And so I said, I am here, silently. And as I said it a third time, it was like I said, I am here. And it started to stutter. I wasn't speaking. I was just feeling it silently. But the feelingness of it, the expression of it, was like stuttering. And as I said it again, as soon as I got to I am, it was like I am. And I felt like I was being pulled apart energetically. and I couldn't even really get I out the next time, and I just let go and like let my body dissolve, and I had the experience of like my body dissolving and feeling like I was just on the edge of empty black space with little tiny dots of light in the distance. And I knew I was in the field. I knew I was in the unified field that exists beyond time and space. And I was so happy to know I was beyond my body. And I didn't last that. I could feel the pull of thought and of my desire to then create from that space. Even that, instead of just resting there, I could feel my desire start to like drag me back, almost like if you're in a lucid dream. Sometimes it can be hard to maintain that awareness in that space. And so, I came back to my body. I don't know how long it was. I wasn't there that long, to be honest. But it felt so, it was great. It was a wondrous thing. And then I ran out on the beach in the dark and still had the HemiSync going. It was kind of like I was still dreaming. But I wanted to share that, one, because that's an experience we can all have when we meditate. And if it sounds really cool, it is really cool. But more importantly, I think for so many of us, I wanted to share the part about what sort of got me there was when I stopped like reaching outward, just subtly. And I just like, what if I'm already here? And I think, what if right now, what if waking with my eyes open, I can be there? And we are sometimes, right? We go out in nature, we have these moments. We have these moments of connection with beauty. It just, we get so present. And I've had those, many of those. So I wanted to share that. And I also wanted to share what happened today. So then yesterday, that was Saturday night. Sunday was just another day, a couple hours of seated meditation. Awesome. Really feeling like so much possibility around the meditation group and just other things. And then this morning, got up, sat to meditate. Could not settle in. Could not quiet my mind. I don't know why. I don't think it's because I happened to notice on my phone that the Red Sox had won the World Series last night. I don't think that was enough to like completely. I sat and but I just all these ideas. I'm trying to figure out why. Like, I mean, half hour goes by, 45. I can't settle in. I can't. My body's sort of going to sleep, but like mentally, it just wasn't the same experience as the last few days. After like an hour, I opened my eyes. I stood up. As soon as I opened my eyes and opened the curtains and looked out toward the ocean, I felt myself, my heart open up, and I was present and I was in my heart. The space I was trying to get to for an hour before that. And what came flying in was like, don't start trusting the process, the doing, the methodology. Don't start sitting for the sake of sitting. And I know I realized this a few weeks. I made a whole video about this, about freedom and doing what we want to do. But so I guess to sum this up, I would encourage anyone who wants to feel more and experience more in meditation and in the way of possibility and healing to take a deep dive, to set aside some time and to get off social media and to meditate more, to devote more time to it. But at the same time, we have to come at it that we want to be there. We have to listen to the whispers, and it has to be about being there, not doing that. About being here now, not just that I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing this because it's a reward. If I sit long enough, I'll get beyond my body, so I just need to do this. That may be true, and that you may have experiences like that. I mean, the other time that happened to me, I feel like that kind of was what happened. I sort of willed myself to sit through pain, and I just sat long enough for like, I don't know, an hour and 40 minutes and did have an experience of getting beyond myself. And sometimes maybe we need that. But I think the shortcut to all that is just to know that it's here for you. And so when you sit, sit but don't reach. Be there with your breath. And just be open to the idea that in any moment, after 30 seconds, a minute, 30 minutes, an hour, at any moment, you're there, you love yourself, you're with yourself. And that's where the connection lies. And then to get up from that and know that every minute of every day, breathing with your eyes open, working, taking care of your kids, cooking, you're there with yourself, you're okay, you're loved, and feel that connection there. Yeah, it's a little different when your five senses are inputting all this sensory information. That's why people meditate. But we can still be in our hearts, feel all this love flowing through us, flowing through the activity that we're doing, flowing into the meal we're making, into the ways we're helping our kids, into the work that we're doing, the way we're treating our coworkers. All that stuff can just flow through us. And it does that especially, I feel there is a link between the time I spend sitting in stillness and tapping into that in stillness without all that sensory input to how much of that is going to flow through me when I'm allowing all that sensory input in. I do feel like there's some connection there. But don't make your meditation about the doing. Just sit and be. Sit and be in whatever way you do it. Be here now. Namaste.